Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Lori Albert. I am medium intuitive, Lori Albert. Spiritually Speaking is a feel-good, interactive, intuitive conversation that embraces all things spiritual. Each week we discuss different spiritual or life topics. I have guests on, and I take your calls on the spirit line below here for viewers to be part of the conversation, or if you'd like to receive a reading. So welcome to the show. I am super excited because I have a really fun guest. We have been talking spiritual stuff for the last hour since she came, and it's been like fun. This is going to be a great conversation. Anyway, but before I bring Cynthia on, I want to first of all say I'm sorry I haven't been here in 2 weeks. I know it's been weird. I went on vacation, which you guys know because I did that little bit, live thing on the International Day of Happiness. You know, because that's my favorite day of the year, right? So at any rate, so yeah, I wanted to apologize for that because here's the thing. Mercury's in retrograde. It's trying. I get that. There's so many people that have been messaging me saying, Lori, oh my God, seriously, why is this happening? When is this going to go away? You know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's, that's why I created the gratitude challenge, right? And so I want to tell you guys really quick, I've been getting really good feedback from you all on doing the challenge, so keep it up. Okay, so the challenge, right, for this week. The first week, what you're supposed to do is do the wake up and say thank you about 4 or 5 times. Wake up and say thank you. Put a sticky note on your mirror if you need to in the bathroom, whatever you need to do, right? So do that, and then every day, come up with 5 things that you're grateful for that are different from the day before, right? So you got to keep that rolling and continue that on because that is important, right? Because the more you start, the more, okay, so the first day you say, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my car, or whatever. But then as you're doing this for a week, you have to start finding other things that you're grateful for. So that's what's fun, right? So find new things. And then the challenge this week is pay it forward, okay? Last week, actually, the challenge was to smile, right? This week, it's to smile and pay it forward a little bit, okay? It doesn't have to be monetary. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a big deal, right? If you're not the type of person that holds open a door for somebody, hold a door open for somebody. Or give somebody your parking space when you know you're waiting and you have your turn signal on, knowing that that's your space, but somebody comes, maybe just give it to them, right? Just try those little things. Or if you have extra money, maybe pay for the person behind you's groceries or a cup of coffee, right? It can be whatever you want it to be. But try that at least once this week, okay? That's why it's called a challenge, because I want you to get out there. Because the more we do this, the happier and the more grateful we become with our own lives, okay? Because it puts you in that state of compassion, which I love. Okay, so that all being said, I want to tell you about my guest. She is so cool. You're going to love her. Her name is Cynthia Escobar, and I want to read her bio, or a part of her bio, because it's really amazing. Transforming your dreams into reality. As a life mastery consultant, Cynthia Escobar can help you design and manifest a life that's in harmony with your soul's purpose. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, I just love that. For over 8 years, Cynthia Escobar has worked with organizations and individuals, helping them build their dreams, accelerate their results, and create richer, more fulfilling lives. In addition, Cynthia Escobar is a spiritual practitioner and medium. She teaches various spiritual principles in locations throughout California. Topics include affirmative prayer, mediumship, meditation, and evolving consciousness, which I really want to get into because I can't wait to talk about that. Anyway, Cynthia studies with world-renowned teachers, Mary Morrissey, Reverend Michael Beckwith, who I love, Chris Drew, and Mavis Padilla. As a sought-after speaker and teacher, Cynthia Escobar has offered transformational workshops to organizations around the country. Isn't that amazing? She's busy, right? Her Facebook page is it's at Cynthia with the Power of Spirit. And that's what her company name is. the power of spirit. So without further ado, welcome, Cynthia. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited you're here. Oh my God.
Thank you.
I met Cynthia a couple of years ago, I guess it was, in a mediumship circle. And you know how you meet somebody and you just sort of click, right? That's exactly how I felt about you. And like instantaneous, because you have that light, and I was telling her this earlier, you have that light in your eye that's just, it's just, you're effervescent. Is that like even like the word that I want? But like you exude beauty and joy and happiness. So welcome to the show.
Beautiful.
Thanks for coming.
And I thank everyone who's watching today. Thank you for being here with Lori and myself. And Lori, thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Well, sure. You know.
I really appreciate it. It was really nice hearing somebody read my bio with such enthusiasm. Really cool stuff. So thank you for that.
So I have so much that we want to talk about, but I want to give you guys a chance to call. The phone lines are now open, so please feel free to call in. You know the number. 818-835-5885. You can call in for a question, for Cynthia, or you can call in for a reading. Cynthia is an amazing medium and psychic. I will tell you that too. So not to put pressure on you or anything, but yeah. So okay. So here is my first question to you.
Okay.
This is going to open the door to the entire conversation. Why did you choose the name The Power of Spirit?
That's a great question.
I know.
That's a great question, Lori.
Because it opens it up to the whole thing.
It does. And so I want to say that there are many different venues in which I work, different avenues that I work with my clients. One of them being mediumship and intuitive readings. And I also am a transformational life coach teaching spiritual keys to success. And then, you know, and as a spiritual practitioner as well, doing healing sessions, prayer sessions. So there are many different ways in which I work with people. And I really was working with the infinite to figure out a name that would encompass all of that.
Yeah.
Right? Every different way that I work with spirit. And the power of spirit came to me. And it is so profound because the truth is that there is power in working with spirit. Right? Yeah. So whether it be mediumship and you're connecting with angels and guides and your past loved ones, there's guidance there for us to tap into, or it be working with our own individual source, spirit, soul, universal presence, God presence, whatever you want to call it, that's within you. And so as a spiritual teacher, no matter what platform I'm using, I'm teaching people to move beyond. We will always be in this physical body. But I'm teaching how to move beyond this physical body and really lean into the spirit within you. Tap into that, learn what it is, how to use it, how to be with it. And there is extreme creative power and freedom when you give yourself that opportunity.
Wow. I mean, seriously, that is so incredible because it, to me, that sort of opens up the door for so many people to step past all of their neuroses and all of their fears. It sort of helps them open that door so that they can get past all of that. Yes. You know, I just find that to be amazing. How did you start doing this work? How did what was your process and how did this all how did this manifest for you? Or how did you manifest this, I guess is what I want to say.
Yeah. Well, and and this is going to be important for everybody because there really is a little voice inside of us that speaks to us on a regular basis. And for me, growing up, I didn't have a good relationship to religion. Church was very uncomfortable for me. And so I became an atheist. And I started studying anthropology. I wanted to learn what religion meant to culturally, right? What it represented. And so I started studying anthropology, but my minor was Native American studies.
Oh, wow.
Why? Because I loved what they believed in and their connection to nature and the oneness. Yeah. And so part of me was still spiritual, but I was saying I was an atheist. And I left school and I went into life, and all of a sudden there was this, it was as if the angels were yelling at me like, wake up, Cynthia, wake up and speak to me. And so I started with praying for parking spaces.
Oh my God, that's so funny. We were just talking about that. Really?
Yeah, somebody
That's
told
how
me
it
to do
started?
that.
Oh, that is so
Because
funny.
at that point, I really believed that it was just the human form. That's all that existed. And so I prayed for parking spaces. First time it happened. Second time it happened.
is
Third
so
time it
great.
happened.
Yeah.
And then I started to think, well, maybe there really is something here. But the years went on, and I really didn't do much with it. And then I was having such a difficult time, and I went to go see a medium who I adore, and she just really reminded me of the power within me. And I remember she looked at me and she said, Cynthia, you just have no idea who you are. You have no idea who you are.
Wow.
And my clients...
Haven't we all been there? I mean, I just need to say that. I need to stop you, because that is a huge thing of what you just said.
Yeah.
We've all been there. And so go ahead. Oh my God, that just really popped out of me.
Well, it was, she saw me in a way that I had never seen myself. And because she saw me like, oh my goodness, Cynthia, you just don't know. It opened my consciousness to the maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
And so you often hear it, my clients will often hear me look at them and tell them, like, you and even you, Lori, you just have no idea. You have no idea the power and the presence within you. Mm-hmm. So I tell my clients this all the time, because I know it to be true, but also because it opens up that space for them to see themselves differently. Yeah. And so I just started to allow myself to play. I was very curious about mediumship, and so I started taking a couple of classes. Mm-hmm. I immediately jumped into doing workshops with different teachers.
That's great.
And I was brand new, and I just threw myself in there. And
that's the way you got to do it, you know?
It really is. And I encourage everybody who's interested in doing something like that to give yourself the opportunity to do so. Okay. And so that happened. And then, at that point I was working with my husband in his business. We had built a business. It was our business. We had been in this business for 9 years, but there was this little voice inside of me that was telling me to become a spiritual teacher. And I had no idea what that looked like. However, I had invested all these years in that business. I played a significant role. I was concerned as to what would happen to my husband, our relationship, the business. Yeah. And so I stayed year after year after year, but I was so unhappy.
Oh my God.
And it really took for me to get to that point for me to make a decision.
Yeah.
And it was just about 3 years ago where I decided, very clear decision, that I would no longer practice my spiritual journey, like take my spiritual journey around my life. So it was had always been my life is first, my spiritual journey is second, but instead I would live my life around my spiritual journey.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, wow.
And it was a very clear decision. And after that point, the ball just rolled, and I started studying, I started practicing, I started teaching, started giving mediumship readings and engaging more. And then I found, I studied at Agape with Michael Beckwith, and I found my mentor, Mary Morrissey, who's just phenomenal, who really teaches the spiritual keys to success, phenomenal stuff. My whole life has transformed. And today, I mean, I wake up and I'm meditating. I'm doing a gratitude list, talking about gratitude.
Oh, that's great.
One thing I do every morning. And I do some vision work. I go through my day. I'm teaching spiritual transformational principles, and I'm doing mediumship. I'm always working with spirit. Nighttime, I have my coaching sessions, and I do meditation before I go to sleep. That is my life.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. That is so great. And you know
amazing.
What is so cool, and it's out there for you guys if you want that. Because I have a sort of similar story, is that once I got into the spiritual work, I realized that this is my passion. Yes. Now, your passion can be anything. It doesn't have to be spirit. It's just because we're sitting here talking about it, right? It can be anything. It can be anthropology. It can be animals. It can be farming. It can be anything, right? If you're passionate about it. And you know what? And we were sort of talking about this earlier in that, the whole saying of like, oh, if you're passionate about your work, then you'll find happiness and all that stuff. You know what? I get kind of irritated when I hear people say that, only to a point, because I think I don't want people to think that there's no work involved, number one, but I don't want people to like poo-poo it, like, well, that'll never happen for me. But you know what? The reality is, it is there for you if you want it. You can find who you are if you want to. You can find your passion, you know? And I just love that you were able to find that. And you know what? And here's the thing too. You were open-minded about it, you know? You were open-minded as to what spirit was given you, you know?
Yes.
I mean, that's like,
well,
that's
and I will say that, you know, that I know that we are all, you know, the moment that your life was created, the whole universe, whether you call it God or the universe or spirit, the only thing it thought of for that moment was you, was your life. All of its attention was on you. And we come here into this life. Yeah, it's a beautiful, like, it's so profound. And we come here and there is a purpose for you. And there really is a way that we are here to ultimately, it's like we're all pieces of a gigantic puzzle. And you become that full piece when you step into what you're here to do. But the great part is that there is a way for you to figure out what your soul's purpose is. And that's what I teach. And the question you ask yourself when you want to figure that out is, what would I love? What would I love?
okay.
Now, we have been trained to come from a place of circumstance. So the jobs that we take, the trips that we take, right, the artwork that we do comes from a place of circumstance. How much education do I have? What kind of network do I have? What kind of experience do I have? But I'm telling you that the circumstances around you are not your true potential. When you want to figure out what it is that you are here to create, you ask yourself that question, what would I love? Ask yourself that question, and don't think about what my money tells me I can do or what my education tells me that I can do, but what would I love to do? And that is how you find your soul's purpose.
So this might sound like a strange question then, but how do you find what you love? I mean, I love my dog. I love spaghetti. I don't know. I'm just like finding stuff that I love. I love meditating, right? So I love those things. So how do you go about helping someone figure out what they love and how to make it transform into?
Absolutely. So I like to break life down into 4 domains, okay? Because it makes us easier for us to really dream up what we would love. So let's start with what's easy. And you guys can all ask yourself this question.
Just take out your pens and pencils.
Speak. Yes. And so let's talk about the health and wellness domain. Health and wellness includes how we feel in our physical body, how we feel about our physical body. Right. Right. It includes what activities you're engaging in, right? What weight you're at, what size you're at. You know, part of my vision is, you know, I go to sleep every night on the dot at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like jumping out of bed. I'm energetic. I'm vibrant.
And can you just see that? I can totally see that.
You see that? Isn't that great? And, you know, I feel fantastic. I look in the mirror and I'm naked and I'm like, wow, I look great.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's what I would love. I would love that. I would love full endurance, flexibility, stamina. I love running. Like if I'm going to do exercise multiple times a week, it would be running and it would be yoga. That's what I would love. What would you love? Perhaps it's rock climbing. Perhaps it's climbing Mount Everest. Whatever it is for you, there is an answer there for you. So if I ask you, Lori, in the area of health, what would you love?
Oh my. Yes, and we know that I bring my life to this, so I would love to have, okay, I'm just going to say it. I would love to have a pain-free day.
Yeah.
I got I'll just it's not like I have anything dramatic, okay? But I have like, I don't know, we're still trying to figure it out, but I think it's like arthritis type issues, okay? So I would love to have a pain-free day where my back doesn't hurt or my joints don't hurt or my feet don't hurt. I would love to have some sort of,
okay.
That's what I would like.
And let me give you this for everybody, okay? When our mind thinks in pictures, okay? So I'm going to use this example. So I'm going to tell you, don't think of the Statue of Liberty. Don't think of the Statue of Liberty. Don't think of her out in the harbor.
Oh my God.
With her arm in the air and the torch in her hand. What are you thinking about?
But the Statue of Liberty, of course. Yeah, right.
So when you're visioning what you would love to experience, you want to stay away from the words that express that condition.
Right.
So let's
Right.
and thank you, Lori, for letting me use her as an example. So thank you.
No,
for your
no, it's just, you know what I
participation.
was thinking when you started? I was like, okay, I bring my life to this, and you guys know that, but I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a free session.
Great.
So go ahead.
So what does it look like to you to have a day free of pain?
Do you know what it would look like to me? And I am not going to get emotional because I already feel like I am.
Yes.
But you know what? I miss going to the gym and working out. I would love, oh my God, I had several years ago now, I had a point where I was with my cousin and we were in Spain and we were going to go on this short, it wasn't even that long of a hike, right? To this bridge that was built in like the 1500s, something like that. It was a crazy old bridge. It was like you needed to go, you know. I couldn't make it. And we were going downhill. It wasn't even that hot. I couldn't make it. I was walking really slow. It was a horrible experience for me. And seeing my cousin who was so vibrant, I mean, she just climbed to Annapurna. I mean, she's like really, really fit. You know?
Yeah.
So that was like a really bad thing for me. So I would love to, now you're saying to like not think about it, but I would love to hike.
Beautiful.
I would love to hike. Oh my God, that's so huge. That is so huge, you guys.
You see?
It
you
is,
see what just happened?
oh my God, yeah. I would love to hike. Not crazy like Annapurna like my cousin did or anything. But yeah, I would love, I think it was Annapurna. Kelly, I'm sorry if you're listening and I said it wrong. But yeah, so.
You would love to hike?
I would love to hike. Yeah. So.
And ways in which we can say pain-free, in addition, just for the viewers, is, you know, my body feels amazing.
Yeah,
I have so much flexibility and stamina and movement, and I can do anything I want. I could take any hike that I would love. And so you just found something that you would love.
And you know what? Something that's kind of life-changing. And you know what's so funny, you guys, is that I know what you're saying. Because I've done a lot of work on myself. I know what you're saying, and I know it's like the teacher can't teach, or the teacher doesn't follow their own rules or whatever. Like, I know that, and I know I should do that, and I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
And I will tell you, like, that's why I have a business.
Yeah, exactly.
That is why, because I will say this, that you are a spiritual being. You don't have a spirit, you are a spirit. Okay, but you've taken on this physical form. Yeah. And this physical form, one of the ways in which biologically we protect ourselves is through what we call paradigms. And so our body, back when we were hunters and gatherers, we needed to be able to notice when something was off in the environment so that we wouldn't get eaten by a lion or get in the middle of a stampede, right? Right. We needed to know, but that is still at work within us now. Right. And so as we grow up, you know, we're born this very clean slate. And as we grow up, we have belief systems programmed into us. Right. Okay. So true. And it's you know, it's given to us by our parents, by our community, by our teachers, by schoolmates, and these become our belief system. Right. Right. Now the thing about them is that they are so strong, and they're what a lot of people like to call your box. So that's your box. Okay. So the paradigms work like this: they keep you safe. They tell you they're keeping you safe. Right. Okay, and you stay in the middle, and you're going to be okay. But whenever you start moving in a different direction, the fear pops up and brings you back down. It's like a gravitational pull, or the gravitational pull brings you back to the center. Right, right. So paradigms are constantly at work in our life. There's no way we can get away from that. And as much as we try to do this alone, we really must have a structure of support to make those changes. Right. So it's kind of like New Year's resolutions. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. When people make New Year's resolution, they get out there and they're pumped, and it may last 2, 3, 4, up to 5, 6 weeks. And then what happens? The paradigms, the old patterns come back, and we go back to the same results. Right. There was this huge study that they did at Harvard of several patients that were told if they didn't change their habits, they were going to die. They were going to die. Wow. Okay? So they did a study on these people, and it was 83% that went out and made some changes, but when they checked back in 3 months, they had fallen back into the old patterns, even knowing they would die.
Oh my God, that's
terrible. Isn't that amazing? But that's how the paradigms work. Now, when they study the people who made a shift and maintained that shift, across the board, the difference was that these people got into a structure of support. Oh, and there's a caller now.
Oh my God, a caller. Good. You know, I was just going to say, you guys need to take advantage of Cynthia being here. So let's see what happens. Hi there. You're live on the air with Lori and Cynthia. Who are we speaking to?
Hi, Lori. It's Marybeth. How are you?
Marybeth, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
This is so interesting. I'm so glad you have Cynthia on tonight.
Good,
Thank
yeah.
you.
What do you, I know you must have a question for her because this is like amazing, right? What do you want?
It's pretty amazing because this is actually just an incidental, but today is my birthday, and I think
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But this is happening at such a great time that you have Cynthia on because, you know, it's my birthday. It's a time for reflection and a time to think about, you know, how, you know, I'm midlife now. Well, I'm past midlife probably, but I think we like to think of the 50s as midlife. So I'm at midlife now, and, you know, I've had a life, and I've had loss, I've had illness, I've had sickness, mostly around me in my life. And over the past couple years, I've called in a bit to Laurie about, you know, and she's done readings for me, and she's fantastic. But I've been on sort of kind of a little bit of a journey here, and I'm doing a lot of soul searching, doing a lot of renovating in my life. I've been on a renovation. I've been doing an eating plan for the past year, and I've lost a fair amount of weight, and I continue on that, and I've been very successful at it. But now I want to add to it. I'm still kind of restless. I'm still kind of, what's for me? I mean, I have a lot of people that are very sick around me right now, and they're very important people to me.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I make the best life I can for myself through it all.
Yep.
And I end up having a full life no matter where those journeys or when those journeys end for those people that are very important to me. I just was wondering if they got the sense that, am I on the right track? I waver a lot, especially for the spiritual part. I've added yoga recently.
Oh, good.
I'm going to a meditation class tomorrow. I've started a gratitude journal. I've gone back to do some therapy. Is there something I'm missing? Is there something where I can progress further? I'm wondering if Cynthia can give me any more sense of direction, of letting me know if I'm headed in the right direction to get the answers and the better place I'm looking for.
Wow.
Or if there's something else I need to be doing.
Well, let me ask you, and it's Marybeth, correct?
Yes.
Marybeth?
That's correct.
Happy birthday, Marybeth, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And
thank you very much.
Absolutely. And how are you feeling about your health at this time?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty, when I'm really into my eating plan, when I'm really in the zone of doing the yoga stuff and the stuff that's for me, stuff that's brazenly and just blatantly and unapologetically about me, I feel really good about it.
Okay.
But it's really tough to stay on that path when I've got other people's lives to think about and with very serious health conditions. And, you know, I can't always do this stuff for myself, but I'm trucking along as much as I can. And I have those down points where am I ever going to get to a better place in all this, in a better headspace?
Okay, so let me give you this.
Let
me give you this, Marybeth, because while I definitely hear that you're making some progress, and kudos to you for putting yourself out there. And the reason I asked you, how are you feeling about your health, is because one of the ways that we assist those around us, spiritually speaking, one of the ways that we assist those around us when they are having health issues is by serving ourselves as well. Okay, so no, it's when you focus on your health, your mental, your physical wellness, it will create a space for you to really be there to support others who are in the same, or not the same, but who are having challenges physically as well. So you are doing the right thing by giving yourself that time. But you really are the highest authority, okay, on this. And what I like to tell my clients is, pay attention to, as much as I hear like you're really happy about some of the stuff that you're doing, there sounds like there's some discontent. So let's take one area of life, okay? What area of life do you feel the majority of your discontent in?
I would have to say my employment right now.
Your employment, okay.
There's a lot of upheaval, and there's a lot of I'm a fixer. I'm a helper. I'm a mom in a very. I have a very maternal sense. Yeah. I have a lot of empathy for people, and a lot of times I take on other people's, down feelings or not feeling. I take way too that much into my soul. Yeah. And I think, part of this journey of adding yoga and meditation and all that is to create a better sense of like fullness and happiness when I am naturally an empath and I take negativity on from other people, and it brings me down in a very unhealthy, way too invested way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does,
and
absolutely.
This is happening,
and I will tell you that there are many
work.
clients that I work with that have this very similar issue, okay? And not really an issue, it's an opportunity. My spiritual practitioner always tells me, Cynthia, there are no challenges, there are no issues, everything's an opportunity for your spiritual growth and unfoldment. But what I will say is, if you look at the area of vocation, like give yourself an opportunity to really sit down and journal, because by being with yourself and asking you these questions, you're going to receive the clarity that you need to make a shift. So when you look at your vocation, really looking, where is the discontent in my vocation? Okay? And where is the longing? So what are you unhappy with, and what would you love to see instead?
Dog.
And
sorry, the dog's walking all over the place.
and I want to tell you, Marybeth, that there's two parts of us, right? There's our spiritual nature and there's our physical self. Now, our higher self, our infinite nature, speaks to our physical mind through two like red flags, I like to call them. One is discontent and one is longing. So by looking at the discontent, sometimes the discontent is louder and sometimes the longing is louder. I shared at the top of the call how I had a longing to become a spiritual teacher. That was louder for me than the discontent. But what we want to do when we want to receive that clarity is we want to look at where the discontent is and then look at the longing. And if you're having a hard time with the longing, pay attention to the discontent. Perhaps the discontent is my coworkers rely too heavily on me. That may be a discontent.
Yes.
So that may be a discontent. So then you look for the longing. Well, what would I love it to look like? What would I love it to look like? See, the universe, Lori told me she was going to touch on the law of attraction. Okay, that may have come up, she told me. And what I want you to know is that we are always creating. We are spiritual beings. We are always creating, but the vast majority of us are creating by default. However, you can choose to create by design. All right. Now, the way that we create is very simple. The universe hears the thoughts, the constant, consistent thoughts and beliefs, and amplifies that. Okay. So whatever belief you're holding, it's going to amplify that. So if you go into work every day and you feel like, oh my God, this is so exhausting, I'm just so tired of this, you have that feeling, the universe is going to amplify that experience in your life. So by sitting down and really finding where the discontent is and where the longing is, you can move your attention away from the discontent and bring what you are longing to experience into your current experience. Because now, whenever, you know, the discontent starts speaking, you can remind yourself of what you would love to experience. What would I love to experience? And then you ask yourself, how can I create that for myself today? How can I create that for myself? Okay.
Wow.
It may be the same in relationships with your family members. If you have family members that weigh very heavily on you, look at that. Where's the discontent? And where is the longing? And just from what you said, and these are my words, but just from what you've told me, there is a longing to be able to do more for yourself. Would you say that's correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to really look at the discontent and the longing. And then when you have that longing, you see what you can do to create that, to bring that into your experience. Okay?
Okay.
Because the longing is really what our soul is here to express. Your longing of having that time to yourself, of having that environment, that loving environment where you feel supported, my words again, but if that's your longing, you know, that is what you are here to experience. But you must first find it. You have to find it, Marybeth, before you can create it in your life. So take a moment to sit down and journal and really figure it out, okay? And I would love very much.
I'm going to have to do that.
because we must first comes the clarity. First comes the clarity. We must figure out what we want to experience. And then next is the action steps, okay? The action steps. And you mentioned how we were talking or you actually mentioned it, but I don't remember the words that you used, but you'll start and then you know it's not going to be like this forever, so you'll kind of fall back. Would you say that that's correct?
What part of that?
I wish I remember your words exactly, but I don't. But when it comes to the health and the shifts that you're making, yeah, that's right. You're eating.
The eating. The working out.
Where you'll make some changes, but then you'll fall back on that. Is that correct?
A little bit. I mean, this eating plan is like so ingrained in me now that
that's great. That's good.
Even my husband remarked on it. I don't go off of it very often. Actually, I'm kind of off of it right now because his birthday's this week and my birthday, and I want to have a little bit of freedom to like have a glass of wine or a piece of cake or what have you. I'm happier when I am doing this eating plan that I've been doing.
Good.
So
he has remarked on, you are so much happier, you're in a better headspace.
Yes.
Because I think I feel like like it's not where I need this. I can't live like I can eat like a teenager anymore. I never really could. I mean, I was always like kind of the chubby kid, but but I really can't now because it's like you get the heart palpitations.
Right. Oh my God, me too.
You just don't feel good or yeah, exactly. Or you just don't feel good, or you can't get up in the morning, or you can't get to sleep at night.
So let me ask you, Marybeth, what's the difference with this? Because this is a significant process, right? So you got into this food program, you're being consistent. So what type of support did you give yourself in order to be on this food program? What type of structure of support did you put in place for yourself?
To be honest, I've done every food plan out there. This food plan is called Whole 30, and I'm not here to advertise it or anything like that. It's actually a self-accountability. It's been total self-accountability the whole way. Yeah. My ex-boss told me about it. and he gave me a book. I read about it, and I said, I'll give it a try. I was having skin issues. I still have skin issues, but not to the degree that I used to.
Yeah.
So you buy into it for a certain amount of time, and I saw things turn around for me, like things that, like the heart racing or not being able to go to sleep at night, the insomnia, the anxiety, the itching. It's just all the crazy stuff that just like piles on once you get to being a certain age. Absolutely. And it's just like, it's like, what next, you know?
Yes.
And then this is the thing that silenced it for me.
Okay, well that's
really
beautiful. And I want to say congratulations and really honor you, because it takes a lot to really have that self-accountability. So let's take a step back. If there's not a structure of support, then there was initially information, correct? There was study, there was information that assisted you in making this change. And the reason I bring this up is because you have all the answers within you, but we often need some support, whether that be a class or accountability partner, or you know, or a partner that's on board and assisting us. With you, with this diet or this eating, this shift in eating, you had the education. You had somebody show you something. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is, when you really find out where your longing is, to find somebody that can support you, who can give you the information, whether that be at a seminar or, you know, at a workshop, or working with accountability coach, something along those lines. But you can't create that until you figure out what it is that you want to experience in the different domains of your life.
Right.
Make sense?
Does that make sense?
That's going to be the hardest part. But I'm not adverse to journaling and trying to do, like you said, like a lot of, I've done every accountability way. I've been to Weight Watchers. I've been to Jenny Craig, blah, blah, blah. You can name every single one. I've been to them all. The only thing that worked for me was that I had to make up my mind. I had to set an intent for myself.
That's right.
And make a decision.
And it was so deep. It was so deep at that point. I was so desperate, and this was working, and I was like, I finally found it. I finally found what's taken me my whole life to find. This is working for me. I know I can find it. So the journal, what you're talking about with journaling and education and looking and seeking, I can do that. And I just have to know that it's out there and that I will find it. I know I can't.
You know what's kind of a cool thought on this too is that you know, like Cynthia was saying, she has like her day. She gets up, she meditates, she does this. She has like a, I don't know, I don't know what term I would put it in, but you have like a self checklist that you do every day. Yes. And you know what? There's those, I have a problem doing that, because and I'm like you, I'm like a fixer, Marybeth, right? And I go to work and I'm working for somebody else, and so I put my own stuff in the background sometimes. But you know what? I think that the journaling, if you like wake up in the morning and you start maybe with our gratitude challenge, and you start just with the simple thank you, right? And then you go and you have your cup of coffee and you journal a little bit, or you know, so like make a sort of routine out of it for yourself. And you know what? It's okay to do that. You know, I mean, you being a fixer, because I can really empathize with that too, because I get that. But it's okay to spend some time with yourself. It doesn't have to be 4 hours in the morning. It can be a half an hour if you want it to be, you know, that sort of thing. But creating that, taking that space of time for yourself, I think is just so important. And that's really fantastic. Really great.
Michael Beckwith talks about it as blissipline.
Blissipline.
So he says discipline tends to have a negative kind of feeling behind it, right? And so blissipline is there's another caller coming in.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So blissipline happens when we continuously follow that discipline, Okay. Now, I will go back and say, I'm going to encourage you to get clarity as to what you want to experience, because once you have the clarity is when you have the will and make the decision to stick with that discipline, whether that be journaling or meditating or doing yoga on a consistent basis. So discover, Marybeth, what you really want to experience, and then, really write it down. And I think that that's a great idea, creating a discipline. And you're welcome, Marybeth. If you want to email me, I would love to give you some more information. I believe my website is on the page, or my Facebook. Well, but I'll just tell you, it's Cynthia Escobar at thepowerofspirit.org.
I'll put it on the Facebook page after we're done.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
And I will reach out, and if there's certain resources that I could give you, and I would love to be of service to you. Okay, Marybeth?
Thank you so much for taking my call tonight, Cynthia.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy
Lori,
birthday.
thank you so much.
Yeah, take
Love
care.
you, sweeties.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, wait, that's that one. Okay. How are you? Wait, did I answer that?
I don't think you answered it.
No, I didn't. But that's okay. Are you ready? Are you good?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. That was a fun call. Thank you, Marybeth, and happy birthday. Okay, so we're going to answer this call. Hi, you are live on the air with Cynthia and Lori. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Allison.
Hi, Allison. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm so happy to get through.
Yay! I'm glad you did too. I'm glad you did too. We finished up that call and you were there, so that was great.
Yay! Perfect timing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What can we do for you this evening?
So I'm Holly's best friend, and I know Nadine, your sister, as well.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, and I'm friends with Nadine as well.
Oh, right. Oh, Nadine. Right, sure.
Yes.
I didn't quite hear what you said. I thought you said that. I wasn't sure. Anyway, go ahead.
So I just am looking for some positivity. This is a great topic for me. I've been struggling this last couple weeks. So this is just wanted to call and see what kind of advice you guys had, or some uplifting words.
Let me just say one thing, and then I'm going to give the floor to Cynthia here. Everybody hates it when I talk about this, but Mercury is in retrograde. I'm sorry, but it truly is a real thing. The planet, it's about the energy of the planet. So I'm going to say, be good to yourself. Try to be a little bit more patient with yourself and other people, and because the last couple of weeks, it's been difficult. And it's gonna, I hate to say this, it's gonna be difficult for almost the entirety of April, okay? Just because of the energy, the gravitational pull, things are different, when, I mean, you don't even have to believe in astrology to understand about the planets and about how the gravitational pull changes things. It changes the water in our body, and it does all this stuff, which is fascinating. I don't know a ton about it. However, I do know that when Mercury's in retrograde, people start saying that they're just hitting down times, and they're not happy, and they just need that little extra bit of positivity in their life. So I will say that, and then I will give the floor over to Cynthia.
Tell me your name again.
Allison.
Allison.
You said Allison, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, Allison. So, immediately when you called, the feeling that I got, and I'll share this with you, is that there was like this, dark cloud, but it was here and you were standing here, okay? So, dark cloud doesn't mean anything negative or bad or bad presence or anything, but it does feel like there was something that you were moving through. And when I see you, it's kind of off to the side, and you're standing here and you're this bright light. So I want to tell you that whatever's going on is passing through. It's passing through, I should say it that way, okay? That it really feels like this cloud that's now moving beyond you. Another thing that comes to me is the most difficult times in our life really lead to the greatest growth. And I know sometimes people tell me that, and I'm like, oh, be quiet. Okay? So I don't want to hear that right now.
Right.
It really feels like that. Like, I don't want to hear that.
I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, and so know that that's the message I'm getting, and that's intuitively what I feel is to share with you, is that the most difficult experiences really do lead to the greatest growth, okay? And while I see this in my, when I'm seeing it visually, it's like it's back here and it's lingering, but you really are standing and the light is flowing through you. And so I get the sense that this is shifting quickly, and it's going to shift quickly, but also that light is going to be a bit brighter when you get beyond this. And I want to share with you, like I shared with the previous caller and with Lori as well, is that where we put our attention on, we create more of, okay? And she's also talking about gratitude this week or the last few weeks, okay? And one of the techniques that I use on a regular basis when I am in one of those moments that I'm struggling with something is I choose, as a conscious being, you get to choose where you're going to put your attention. So I choose to switch my attention over to something more expansive, okay? So when we're going through difficult times, our attention really tends to rotate on the challenge, the problem, the difficulties. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just letting you know that we tend to keep our attention on that. But that really doesn't serve us in moving away from that experience and receiving the healing and the shift in that, whatever that problem may be or that opportunity may be, okay? Mm-hmm. So I really get the sense that I'm supposed to tell you this, okay? So just be with me, that bring your attention to those things that you're grateful for. Mm-hmm. Okay, bring your attention to those things that you are grateful for. And whenever you hear those thoughts coming up of like, oh my goodness, this is so difficult, this is going to be terrible, this is whatever it may be, really make that conscious decision to stop that thought and be like, okay, I hear you, I'm going to put you aside right now, and bring your awareness to something that is of gratitude. So it may be your dog, your cat, your children, your parents, your best friend, your loved one. It may be some aspects of your work that you really just love, but choose consciously to move away from the negative, contractive thoughts and choose to put your attention on something more expansive. When we're really, really in a funk, when we make that shift, it'll only last a few minutes, and then we'll find ourselves going back. Okay? But the more that you allow yourself to do this, the longer you will be able to keep that expansive energy of gratitude flowing around you. Does that make sense to you?
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And I will tell you, like I said, it just feels like it's something that's moving rather quickly, and I do feel like it's, it's right on the other side. There's this shift for you. So keep your attention on those things that you're grateful for. And another thing that I'll share briefly, because I know we're coming up towards the end. Yeah, we're coming, is my mentor taught me something very profound, and it really helps me, okay? So what we do is we hit the pause button. Hit the pause button. So, something happens with work. I get a complaint from a client, or two clients are having a disagreement. I have to press the pause button. I press the pause button and I make a date to come back to worry about this. Okay, so it's a date awesome. For 3 days later. So if it happens on a Friday, I hit the pause button and I put in my calendar Monday at 5 p.m. I'm going to come back to this. And during those 3 days, whenever the negative, contractive thoughts come up, I say, no, I'm coming back to you on Monday.
That's a great idea.
And it comes up again, no, I'm coming back to you on Monday. And during those 3 days, really asking myself, what good is there for me in this situation? Asking the question to the universe, asking the question to myself, what good is there in this situation for me? And leaving yourself open to that. Okay? And then on Monday, when it comes, when you come back to worry about it, you will be in a different vibration. You won't be feeling so funky when you come back to look at this and say, okay, what's this about? What do I need to do? You will be, some of that energy will be cleared out, and you'll be able to deal with it differently.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I think my struggle is that I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, because the issues that I'm having is due to medication that I have to take, and I have to be on for the next 10 years. It's a chemo pill, so I've been on for the last 9 months. So it's progressively, messing with my mind and my functionality of day-to-day things.
Absolutely. And that sounds very, very difficult. And so, you know, when you think of what I'm hearing, and these are my words, is that you would like to be off of that medicine, correct?
Oh, absolutely. But it's not an option for me to stay healthy and not be on that medicine.
Okay. Do you
you know, I don't mean to switch gears. That's not what I'm trying to do. However, you had a grandmother that you were really close to that's in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. She is like, she was like wanting me to interrupt Cynthia. She was like, come on, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. Okay, so your grandmother is absolutely with you, and she was basically applauding what Cynthia was saying, specifically about the cloud being here and you being over here, and you're on your way through it. You know, this is your grandmother talking, okay? And she's saying, and I'm being kind of quick about this because we are starting to run out of time, but and you can call me later and we can talk about this later. However, what she's saying is that, you know, you need to find a new way of looking at the medicine. Like, look at the medicine as your friend, or find a new way of relating to the medicine. Saying thank you to the medicine for helping you. Don't look at the negative parts of the medicine. Look at the positive parts of the medicine and say thank you to it. Make it your friend. You know what I'm saying? So that's what your grandmother really wants to say to you. And she's with you on this entire thing. Did she have something going on with roses? Was that like her thing? Do you know? Was her name Rose?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a whole sense of roses around her, so I'll just give you that. Maybe they're for you. Maybe that's just to cheer you up. I guess. You know, I don't know. I'll just give you that. But I'm just seeing with like a bouquet of roses in her hands, and she's just giving them to you. You two were very close, and I really sense that she wishes she could be here for you, but she's telling me that she knows that she can do more for you. This is her talking, not me. She knows that she can do more for you on the other side right now than she could if you were here. So I'll just give that to you because that's kind of an interesting way of describing that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
she's very hard, like my mom, and
yeah. So she's a special lady for sure. So
and Shay, I just want to add that she's a strong woman. Like she's just this presence of about her, and when she talks about you, it's just it's so much love. There's so much love there. I can
hence the roses. Right, absolutely.
And she's really happy right now to be talking to you. I mean, she's very grateful to be on this call and have the opportunity to communicate with you. But she was a strong, beautiful presence. Very strong woman.
And she's telling me she really loved what Cynthia had to say to you about everything that you're going through. So here's the deal. The great news is that in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, this will be back up on YouTube or on my Facebook page, and you can re-listen to what Cynthia was saying, because that's the other thing that she wants you to know. Okay, listen to what this is what she's saying to me. She says, listen to what this nice lady is saying. She's being, listen to what this.
She's pretty strong.
She is. She really is. I mean, there's no like
direction.
There's no mincing of words with this lady.
Well, and for you as well, if you'd like to send me an email, Lori will put it up for you. Reach out to me. I can definitely be of service to you, and if not me, I can give you different resources. And I'm going to extend that to whoever's watching. If you would like to reach out to me and see what I can, how I can be of service to you, I would love to be of service to you.
Well, her website is thepowerofspirit.org. Okay, so you can always go there, and you can type in, Cynthia at thepowerofspirit.org, so you can do that. But anyway, so Allison, I'm gonna cut us short because we're heading towards the end here.
Thank you guys so much.
We wish you the best. Have just enjoy the rest of your day, and we wish you well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you,
Sure.
Allison.
Take care, Allison.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Wow, these amazing calls, amazing spirit messages. I mean, this was I knew this show was going to be amazing. I knew it, right? I mean, I've been wanting her on
I
this
just want
show
to go for another hour. Can we just go for a little bit longer?
No, we can't. We have because we have a circle coming over. So
fun.
I know, this is so fun. Well, I will definitely be having you back.
Thank you.
We
Absolutely.
need to do this again for
Absolutely.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So, I have a quote that I want to read before we end the show. This is by Maya Angelou. You are the sum total of everything that you've seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us. And because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. So we are the sum total. So keep that in mind, everybody. I thought that was pretty cool. So it's Maya Angelou. So you can watch this show again on on my Facebook page, but on YouTube. I will put Cynthia's information on under the comments on there. I think I have it figured out how I can see comments during the show, so I might have that up next week. We shall see. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are amazing.
I love to do this, and I love to be with you and all these beautiful people. I'm just so grateful.
Didn't I tell you guys this was going to be a great and amazing show? So thank you so much. And until next week, everybody stay happy. Take care.
Thank you for watching Spiritually Speaking with Lori Albert.